Learning objectives. At the end of this topic, you will be able to identify various parts involved in transportation in human body, describe human circulatory system in a simple manner, understand the functioning of kidney as an excretory organ, as a purifier of blood, relate structure and function of excretory organs, describe the process of transportation in plants. Observe the graphics. Match the graphics to the appropriate systems found in human. Excellent! Graphic A shows the digestive system. Graphic B shows endocrine system. Graphic C shows urinary system. And graphic D shows reproductive system. What is a circulatory system? Let us learn about circulatory system. Living things must be capable of transporting nutrients, wastes, and gases to and from the cells. Unicellular organisms use their cell surface as a point of exchange with the outside environment. How do multicellular organisms transport gases and nutrients to and from the cells? Let's observe the animation to find out. Organisms need oxygen and glucose to release energy. From the lungs, the oxygen diffuses into the circulatory system. The oxygen is brought to the cells by blood and taken in. Starch is digested and broken down into glucose in the digestive system. It diffuses into the blood and is brought to the muscle cells. The oxygen and glucose transported to the muscle cells react to produce energy in the form of ATP. The waste products produced by this reaction are carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide and water are waste products from respiration. Both the waste products diffuse into the circulatory system from the cells. The carbon dioxide is transported to the lungs to be exhaled. The excess water is either transported to the skin to be excreted as sweat or to the kidney as urine. Ammonia is produced as a result of protein metabolism in the cell. Ammonia is toxic if not efficiently and rapidly removed. It's transported to the liver, where it's converted to less toxic urea. Urea is then transported to the kidneys for excretion in the urine. When a person is excited, adrenal gland is triggered. It releases hormones that make the heart beat faster. Numerous hormones that help maintain constant internal conditions are transported by the circulatory system. From the animations that you have observed, can you state what a circulatory system is? Circulatory system is a transport system found in multicellular organisms. Circulatory system delivers oxygen and nutrients to the cells. It removes carbon dioxide, metabolic waste materials, and hormones from the cells. There are two types of circulatory system: the open circulatory system and the closed circulatory system. The open circulatory system is common to most molluscs and all arthropods. All vertebrates and a few invertebrates have a closed circulatory system. Generally, a closed circulatory system has three major components. The blood, the heart, and the blood vessel. Blood is the transport medium of the system. It is a connective tissue of liquid plasma and cells. Heart is a muscular pumping organ that moves the blood in the circulatory system. Blood vessels are arteries and capillaries that deliver blood to all tissues from the heart. Veins are blood vessels that bring the blood away from the cells to the heart. In open circulatory system, blood is not always contained in blood vessels. The heart pumps blood and cell fluids called hemolymph into the vessels. The vessels empty into cavities or sinuses containing organs. Blood diffuses through the tissues and back to the heart. Blood is a medium of transport in human and many terrestrial animals. The blood is circulated around the body by the pumping action of the heart. Blood is about 7% of the human body weight, so the average adult has a blood volume of about 5 liters. What is blood composed of? Click on the play button. Blood is composed of two components, the plasma and the cellular components. These cellular components of the blood constitute about 45% of the blood. The other 55% is the blood plasma, a yellow fluid that is the blood's liquid transport medium. Plasma has 90% water and 10% dissolved materials including plasma proteins, nutrients, ions, hormones, waste products, and gases. There are 3 types of cells in the blood: erythrocytes, leukocytes, and platelets. Red blood cells are also known as erythrocytes. The body contains more erythrocytes than any other type of cells. They are flattened, doubly concave cells about 7 micrometer in diameter. Mature erythrocytes are continuously manufactured in red marrow of long bones, ribs, skull, and vertebrae. The lifespan of erythrocytes is only 120 days. Then they are destroyed in liver and spleen. White blood cells are also known as leukocytes. Leukocytes are larger than erythrocytes. Each leukocyte has a nucleus. They do not have the pigment hemoglobin. They are made from stem cells in the bone marrow. Leukocytes are classified into granular or agranular leukocytes. The granular leukocytes are neutrophil, eosinophil, and basophil. Agranular leukocytes include lymphocytes and monocytes. Platelets are cell fragments that are produced in the bone marrow. They have no nucleus. Platelets survive for 10 days before being removed by the liver and the spleen. There are 150,000 to 3 lakh platelets in each milliliter of blood. The functions of blood are manifold. Click on the button to know more. The leukocytes' primary function is to fight pathogens which enter the body. The leukocytes move in and out of the bloodstream to reach affected tissues. They destroy the pathogen by ingestion. Certain types of white blood cells produce antibodies. Antibodies are special proteins that recognize foreign materials. They help the body to destroy the foreign materials. The erythrocytes contain hemoglobin. Hemoglobin combines with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin in the lungs and is carried to all parts of the body. As the blood travels through the body, oxyhemoglobin releases oxygen to the cells. Carbon dioxide from the cells is transported to the lungs by the blood plasma and the red blood cells. Blood plasma contains nutrients from the food that has been processed by the digestive system. It carries the nutrients to the body cells. The hormones released by the endocrine glands are carried to the body parts that need them. The waste products from respiration and deamination are carried to the respective excretory organs and excreted. Blood helps to maintain body temperature by transporting heat. Heat is lost through sweating, urination, defecation, and other biological processes. This is particularly important in homeothermic animals such as birds and mammals. Platelets are fragments that help in clotting of blood. When a blood vessel breaks, platelets and clotting factors gather in the area and help seal off the leak. Blood vessels deliver blood to all parts of the body. Human blood circulatory system consists of 3 types of blood vessels. The blood vessels are arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries are blood vessels that carry blood at high pressure away from the heart. Arterial walls are elastic. Arteries have 3 layers of thick walls: the epithelial tissue, smooth muscle, and connective tissue. These 3 layers make the structure of the artery strong, allowing arteries to carry blood under high pressure. The big artery that leaves from the heart is called aorta. Arteries branch into smaller vessels called arterioles. Arterioles are connected to the capillaries. Capillaries are thin-walled, one-celled blood vessels which enables easy exchange of materials. Some capillaries have small pores between the cells of the capillary wall. These pores allow materials to flow in and out of the capillaries as well as to form the passage for white blood cells. Nutrients, waste products, and hormones are exchanged across the thin walls of the capillaries. The extensive network of capillaries form the capillary beds. Blood that leaves the capillary beds flows into a progressively larger series of venues that in turn join to form veins. Veins are also 3-layered. Pressure in veins is low. The veins have valves that prevent backflow of blood. They are not elastic. Their lumens are big compared to arteries. The blood is propelled from the heart via the blood vessels throughout the body. So let us look at the structure of the heart to understand how blood is pumped out. The heart is a muscular structure that contracts in a rhythmic pattern to pump blood. The human heart is 2-sided, 4-chambered structure with muscular walls. The 2 upper chambers are the atria, namely left atrium and the right atrium. The 2 lower chambers are the ventricles, namely the left ventricle and the right ventricle. The left ventricle has thicker muscular wall than the right ventricle. The left ventricle pumps blood to all parts of the body. The thicker walls enable the left ventricle to withstand the high pressure. There are 4 main blood vessels found in the heart: pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, vena cava, and aorta. Pulmonary artery is the vessel transporting deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. The pulmonary vein is the vessel transporting oxygen-rich blood from the lungs to the left atrium. The aorta is the largest single blood vessel in the body. This vessel carries oxygen-rich blood from the left ventricle to the various parts of the body. Vena cava brings deoxygenated blood from the body to the heart. The heart has valves that allow blood to flow in one direction only. Tricuspid valves separate right atrium and right ventricles. Bicuspid valves separate left atrium and left ventricles. A semilunar valve separates each ventricle from its connecting artery. As the heart pumps, the arteries carry oxygenated blood to the body's organs and tissues. At the same time, the veins carry deoxygenated blood to the heart. The great pressure at which the blood is pumped by the heart propels the blood through the artery. Whereas the pressure in veins is low, so veins depend on nearby muscular contractions to move along. Blood is propelled through the human body with the help of the contraction of skeletal muscle around the vein. When the skeletal muscle contracts, they squeeze the vein and push the blood through the veins. Apart from that, the veins have valves that prevent backflow of blood. Each time the heart beats, it pumps blood into the arteries. Arteries carry blood to various parts of the body. As the blood flows through the arteries, it pushes against the walls of the arteries. It causes blood pressure. Observe the video shown. How does our body acquire the water? We acquire most of the water in our food and drink. A small amount is acquired by oxidative metabolism. How does water leave our body? Click the correct answers. That's correct. We lose water by urinating and defecating. Water is also lost through evaporation while sweating. We know that kidneys play an important role in regulating the blood osmotic pressure. Kidneys are part of the urinary system. Do you still remember the organs found in the urinary system? Drag and drop the appropriate labels into the spaces provided. Well done! Click on each of the labels to know more. The renal artery enters each kidney. Blood laden with waste products flows into the kidneys through the renal artery. The renal vein exits each kidney. Blood which has been filtered flows out of the kidneys through the renal vein. Kidneys are bean-shaped organs. Waste products are filtered from the blood and collected as urine in each kidney. Ureters are muscular tubes from the kidneys to the bladder. They carry the urine to the urinary bladder and transport urine by peristaltic contractions. Urinary bladder is a hollow muscular organ that expands as urine enters. It can hold up to 600 milliliter of urine. Urination is controlled by two sphincters at the tip where urethra joins bladder. Urine leaves the body through the urethra. The kidneys help to regulate the water balance and remove waste materials from the blood to form urine. The structures of kidney are such that so that these tasks are done effectively. Do you still remember the structure of kidneys? Drag and drop the label to the structure of the kidney. Well done! The kidney is made up of 3 layers. They are cortex, medulla, and pelvis. The cortex contains nephrons, the basic functional unit of the kidneys. Each nephron is composed of 6 regions, each having its own particular structure and function. Mouse over to know the names of these regions. You are given 2 passages, Passage 1 and Passage 2. For each passage given, observe the animations. Drag and drop the appropriate labels into the blanks given. Excellent! Plants make their own food. The process is called photosynthesis. The process occurs in the leaves. The process needs water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight. Excellent! Like any other living things, plants carry out respiration. During this process, glucose combines with oxygen to release energy. Mouse over the label. Read the statements carefully. From the statements that you have observed, can you state the necessity for substances in plants? Discuss it with your friends. Write the answers in your notebook. Once you have finished, check your answer. Water is an important component of the plant cell. Water acts as a solvent for minerals to form mineral ions. The mineral ions are required for chlorophyll synthesis, healthy plant growth, and development. Water acts as a reactant during photosynthesis. Water and minerals are absorbed by roots. The water has to be transported to all parts of the plants. Organic food materials are synthesized by leaves. But they're sent to growing parts to supply nutrients. They're sent to storage organs such as fruits to be stored. They're sent to all parts of plants for respiration. The total surface area to volume ratio for flowering plants, conifers and ferns are small. The substances have to move greater distances. Simple diffusion methods become ineffective, so plants need to have transport system. From what you have learnt in the previous classes, identify W, X and Y. Key in the answers. Once you've finished, click Check to check the answers. W is the xylem. X is the phloem. W and X make up Y, the vascular bundle. Vascular bundles are involved in the transport system of plants. Click on the parts of the plants to know more. Vascular tissues in the leaf are found in veins. The upper part of the vascular bundle forms the xylem. The lower part forms the phloem. The vascular bundles in the dicotyledonous stem are arranged in a ring. They are arranged at the outer region of the pith. Vascular bundles are made up of vascular tissue. Xylem is found inside the bundle. Phloem is found on the outer side of the bundle. Cambum separates the xylem and the phloem. In monocotyledonous plants, the vascular bundles are scattered throughout the stem. In dicotyledonous plants, the xylems are found at the center of the vascular cylinder. They form a star shape. Phloems fill the area between xylems. In monocotyledonous plants, the vascular tissues form a ring around the pith. The xylem tissues alternate with the phloem tissues. Observe the animation. Water is being lost to the atmosphere through the stomata under the leaf. What is the process called? Key in the answer. The process is called transpiration. Transpiration is a process by which a plant loses water to the atmosphere. The water is lost through evaporation from the leaves. The plants absorb water from the ground through root hairs. The water absorbed is released through the leaves. About 1% of the absorbed water is used in chemical reactions and in plant tissues. Most of the absorbed water is lost to the atmosphere through transpiration. About 90% of transpiration occurs through stomata. Transpiration also occurs through other parts of the plant, that is the cuticle and lenticels. Now let's find out how the process of transpiration takes place in detail. Heat from the sun causes the water on external surfaces of mesophyll cells to evaporate. It causes the concentration of water vapor in air space to become high. The air in the atmosphere is less saturated with water vapor than the airspace in the leaves. So, the concentration of water vapor in the atmosphere is low compared to the airspace in the leaves. This causes the water vapor to diffuse from the leaves through the stomata into the atmosphere. The movement of air carries away the water vapor from the stomata. This process continuously happens when the stomata are open. This process is called transpiration. Summary. Let's summarize the topic. In most animals, the blood that circulates in the body distributes food and oxygen to different cells of the body. It also carries waste products to different parts of the body for excretion. Circulatory system consists of the heart and blood vessels. In humans, blood flows through arteries and veins, and the heart acts as a pumping organ. Blood consists of plasma, RBC, WBC, and platelets. Blood is red in color due to the presence of a red pigment called hemoglobin. The human heart beats about 70 to 80 times per minute in an adult person. This is called heart rate. Arteries carry blood from the heart to all parts of the body. Veins carry blood from all parts of the body back to the heart. Removal of waste products from the body is called excretion. Excretory system of humans consists of 2 kidneys, 2 ureters, a urinary bladder, and urethra. The vascular tissue. The vascular tissue for the transport of food to the various parts of the plant is phloem. A lot of water is lost by plants in the form of vapor through stomata during transpiration. Transpiration generates a force which pulls up water absorbed by the roots from the soil to reach the stem and the leaves. Every day, we come across the phrase amazing but true. One such fact about our circulatory system is that the total length of our circulatory system stretches an amazing 60,000 miles. That's more than twice the distance around the Earth. Collect more such amazing facts about your circulatory system. Share the facts with your class. When the stomata are open, they allow water to evaporate from the large leaf surface during transpiration. In order to prevent the rate of transpiration exceeding water uptake, but without compromising the needs for effective photosynthesis, plants have evolved a variety of adaptations to keep water loss by evaporation to a minimum. Read more on the adaptation of plants to reduce transpiration. Present your findings in your class.